In today's video, we're going to be talking about some fragrances that are oldies but goodies. If you're interested, then just keep watching. Hi, my name is Aisha from simplyaisha.com. Here on YouTube, I make videos about fragrance, beauty, luxury, and lifestyle. If those are things you're interested in, please consider subscribing. And if you are a returning subscriber, hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So as I said, in today's video, we'll be talking about fragrances that are oldies but goodies. So basically, these fragrances are fragrances that are either like older fragrances, like the age of them is older, or they could be older in my collection that maybe I used to talk about a lot and now I don't. Or they could be older in this internet community, meaning maybe at one point in time they were talked about a lot, but nobody really talks about them anymore. And I just want to give them a little bit of love. So let's go ahead and get into these fragrances. So we're going to start out with the fragrance that is really the inspiration behind this video. And this is actually my scent of the day. This is from Lolita Lempicka, and this is Lolita Land. So I actually featured this fragrance in another video recently. I will link that for you all. And in the comments of that video, a lot of you all said that you were glad I mentioned this because it made you want to pull it out again. And for me, that made me feel good because sometimes you have gems in your collection that you just don't reach for anymore. So not only is this fragrance an older release, I'm not sure of the year it was released, but it's older in my collection as well. And I feel like when I first started watching fragrance videos, probably about 4 years ago or so, I used to hear some people mention this, and now I basically never hear it talked about. So this fragrance is a fizzy orange vanilla scent. It reminds me of orange soda mixed with cream or with vanilla. It is so fun and playful and sweet, but it doesn't smell childlike in my opinion. It's just one of those different type scents. And although this fragrance is quite sweet, I feel like it's balanced out by the fizziness of the orange so that it never becomes too heavy or too sickening to me. Now, I have heard some people say this is too sweet for them like a long time ago. I remember a lot of people would wear this during the winter, and I do like to wear this during the winter as well. But I honestly feel like for me, this fragrance works year-round, even in the hot summer. It's hot, it's August right now, and I'm wearing it today, and I'm feeling like I'm smelling amazing. Now, would I wear this to a theme park where I'm gonna be outside like sweating? No, but I think just like for regular days, even when it's hot, I think this would definitely work. So if this is something that sounds interesting to you, I would definitely check it out. I don't know if you'll be able to find this in store anymore, but I know you can definitely find it online. So I will link it in the description box below, as I always do, and get your hands on it. It's beautiful, and I know you can find this for a really good price. So again, that is Lolita Land by Lolita Lempicka. So this next fragrance is from Tom Ford, and this is Black Orchid. So this is the OG Tom Ford fragrance. It's the OG in my collection. I have actually had this bottle since I believe like 2006 and it's still good, y'all. It only has a little bit left at this point, but I do have the newer version that's in the gold bottle, and I love that one as well, and I actually wear that one more now. However, the OG, in my opinion, is still relevant. Now, this fragrance is very controversial. I'm not saying this fragrance is for everybody, but I still love this fragrance even though I don't wear it much anymore. I don't talk about it much anymore. It still holds a special place in my heart and in my nose. So if you've never smelled Black Orchid, what are you doing? Go smell it. Do not blind buy this fragrance. But I'm not going to spray this one because it's too strong. But when I smell this fragrance, I get a lot of stuff. It's spicy, it is dark, it's deep. I feel like I can smell patchouli. It smells very earthy in my opinion. It has this chocolatey truffle note in it as well. And overall, the vibe that I get from it is just deep, dark, sexy, spicy, bold type scent. This is not for the girl who likes quiet scents. This will make you stand out. And even to this day, if I wear this fragrance, I'm pretty much guaranteed to get a compliment from it, or somebody's going to recognize it and say, are you wearing Black Orchid? Now, I know a lot of you all don't like it. That's okay. But for me, I still like it. And if you have this in your collection, maybe pull it out. Or if you've never tried Black Orchid, you should at least go get your nose on it in the store, spray a little bit on your hand, walk around and see what you actually think about it. So again, that is Black Orchid from Tom Ford. Next up, also from Tom Ford, is Soleil Blanc. So Soleil Blanc is like the OG summer scent for me. This fragrance used to be all the rage on YouTube, even before the fragrance community was really popping. But when I just used to watch mainly beauty videos, a lot of ladies talked about this, and that's how I ended up purchasing it. But anyway, this is a beachy, beautiful coconut floral scent. It also has pistachio in this fragrance, but to me, I wouldn't count this as a pistachio fragrance. It just gives it a little bit of nuttiness. To me, the overwhelming like vibe that I get from this is coconut, but not necessarily in the sunscreen way. It's kind of in between that sunscreen and natural smelling coconut, if that makes sense. And then you have these beautiful florals. And somehow this fragrance to me still smells elevated. It still smells luxurious. There have been so many more coconuts that have come out on the market since this was popular. However, I still have a special place in my heart for this one. I think it's still a really good suggestion if you're looking for a go-to summer scent, especially if you can find it on sale or something. I know this is expensive, but it's really good in my opinion. And I know people complain about the lasting power. However, this does have a shimmering body oil to go with it. And I find that when I layer the two, I don't really have a problem with longevity anymore. Now, I've had my bottle for a couple years, so maybe that's why. But overall, I would highly recommend Soleil Blanc. And even though people don't talk about it as much, it is still a really good fragrance. This next fragrance is from Juliet Has a Gun, and this is Vanilla Vibes. Now, when this came out, I feel like it got a lot of attention, and specifically from me. I love this fragrance when I first got it, and I still love it. I actually wore it the other day. I've actually worn it twice, I think, within the past week or so. And I feel like I had kind of forgotten about it, but I'm back on it, y'all. So this is a beautiful salty vanilla that kind of smells coconutty, even though I don't think there's a coconut note in here. It's just a very calm, beachy vanilla. Very good for hot weather. It's very lightweight type fragrance. It's not a beast mode, but it is one of those fragrances that you could probably wear every day. I wore this to work out the other day, and I also wore it to bed the other day. So I feel like it's very versatile in that sense. I wouldn't necessarily wear this out on a date night or anything like that, but this is one that you can kind of like spray everywhere and just get a nice little scent bubble from. It's not going to be doing too much. It's not going to be offensive. And although I don't talk about it much anymore, I'm glad I pulled it out of the back of my collection and started back wearing it because I'm really enjoying it. So again, that is Juliet Has a Gun, Vanilla Vibes. This next fragrance is from Mancera, and this is Instant Crush. So this fragrance is the one that I credit with making me fall down the niche fragrance rabbit hole. I feel like prior to getting this fragrance, I didn't have many niche fragrances in my collection, and this is the one that I tried that like I had never seen in person. Like I blind bought it based on reviews, and that started my whole blind buying niche fragrance journey. So anyway, Instant Crush, I used to talk about it a lot. I don't talk about it much anymore. It used to be very popular here on YouTube when I got it, but I don't find many people talk about it anymore. Every now and again, I hear people talk about it. Like, I feel like Abby from Sherry's TV, I'll link her channel, but I feel like she mentions this one, but I can't really think of anybody else right offhand that talks about this anymore. But it's still good, y'all. So a lot of people, when this first came out, they compared it to Baccarat Rouge 540, myself included. And if I still compare it to Baccarat Rouge, I would say that it smells like a spicier, more saffron heavy version of Baccarat Rouge. It doesn't have that same transparency that Baccarat Rouge 540 has. However, the longer I've had this fragrance, I think of it as its own thing. I don't think this necessarily smells like BR 540, although it has that kind of sweet ambery base that 540 has. I don't think it smells like that. So the way I would describe this is that I would say it has a heavy saffron note mixed with amber and musk and some spiciness and definitely some sweetness, but it's not an extremely sweet fragrance. It's more of a spicy sweet. If you haven't smelled Instant Crush, you definitely should. If you get a chance to see this in store or something, maybe try it on your hand, buy a sample of it. But I definitely think we still have a place for it in 2023, and I will not be getting rid of this. It's going nowhere. I still really enjoy it, and I get compliments every single time I wear it. So again, that is Instant Crush from Mancera. The next fragrance I have is from Atelier Colognes, and this is Santal Carmen. So this fragrance, I kind of have an inkling as to why nobody really talks about it anymore. And that's because Atelier Colognes are a lot more harder to get now. They are not readily available in the United States from retailers. And I think they pulled out of some other countries as well. So they're only available in certain countries. So I get it. But I feel like this fragrance was never like talked about a ton. So I still wanted to put it in this video because if you really want it, you can still get this somehow, some way. If I find a link for you, I will link it, but no promises. Anyway, this is a fragrance that I've had for a while, and I went crazy for it when I first got it. And then I kind of stopped wearing it. Not that I didn't enjoy it, but I think the fact that it became like harder to get, it made me kind of scared to wear it. But it is still gorgeous. So this is a sandalwood dominant scent, but this also has saffron, which gives it that airy sweetness. I have also heard people compare this to Baccarat Rouge 540, but I do not get those vibes at all. The only way I could say that would be similar is that it has that airy sweetness, but I honestly think they don't smell alike at all. So if you have seen that and that steered you away from this fragrance, don't let it. To me, this is much more of a sandalwood prominent scent. It also has like a bit of a leathery vibe to it. It doesn't smell like leather, but I feel like the saffron that's in here is a bit spicy and a bit leathery and a bit airy. And I know those things sound like they contradict, but if you're familiar with saffron, I feel like it can go so many different ways in the fragrance, and I feel like it goes multiple ways in this fragrance, and it's super beautiful, y'all. The sandalwood that's in here I find to be like a more of a sweet creamy sandalwood as opposed to a pencil shavings type sandalwood. But this is gorgeous, y'all. Perfect for year round. I tend to reach for this more in the winter, but now that I'm smelling it, I feel like I'm gonna put it on my fragrance tray for next week because I really want to wear this. It smells amazing. So again, that is Santal Carmen from Atelier Colognes. This next fragrance is from Reminiscence, and this is Guimauve. I may be pronouncing that incorrectly, forgive me if I am, but basically that is the French word for marshmallow, and this is a marshmallow scent. So this fragrance I've had a few years as well, and I remember the person that introduced me to this fragrance was Perfume Realm here on YouTube. She doesn't make videos that much anymore, but every now and again she'll pop in, so I will link her channel. But she introduced me to this fragrance, and I think a lot of other people. She's the first person I heard talk about this. And from her description, I knew I wanted to get my nose on it. When I got it, I sprayed it a ton, and now I don't wear it that much anymore, but it is still beautiful. Also, I included this fragrance because I feel like a lot of people started talking about this fragrance and now nobody mentions it. We've moved on to other marshmallow fragrances, but this one is still really good and unique. So of course, I smell marshmallow in here, but this marshmallow it's sweet and fluffy like marshmallow is, but it's not overly sweet in my opinion. There's definitely something more elevated about this fragrance, and almost something slightly green in this fragrance or slightly herbal in this fragrance that really gives it a different twist. So although this is an inexpensive fragrance, I find this to be a unique marshmallow scent. So if you like marshmallow and you want to try something unique, I definitely would recommend this one. It's not your typical marshmallow. It's not extremely sweet. It's not cloying. It's more so just on the fluffy side. And it just has this light kind of airy texture. However, I find this fragrance actually wears really well on the skin. So although I'm describing it as being light and airy, I find it to last like probably at least 8 hours on me. And I find that I smell it for most of the time period that I'm wearing it. So I need to pull this out, y'all. I need to wear it again because it's still really good. So yeah, again, that is Guimauve from Reminiscence. This next fragrance is from Armani Privé, and this is Blue Lazuli. So this fragrance, when I first purchased it, I talked about it a ton, and I feel like I haven't talked about it in forever now, but I still love it. I don't wear it as much, but it's still good. So when I smell this, I get a kind of sweet honey tobacco. The tobacco on here smells spicy and sweet and almost like tobacco leaf. Like it doesn't smell like you're smoking tobacco. It smells like a tobacco leaf. Like it has that bit of freshness to it. And then I also feel like I can pick up on some honey in this fragrance, but it's not overpowering in the least. It's just giving it a little bit of extra sweetness, a little bit of a resinous, ambery quality. And although this sounds like a super heavy fragrance, whatever they've done to this makes it perfect year round. I can wear this in the summer. I can wear it in the winter. It is so good. It's not too heavy. It's definitely more, I guess there's more of an aromatic nature to this that makes it okay for hot weather. And I actually tend to reach for it more in the hot weather, but I haven't worn it lately. So I need to put it on my tray. And I wanted to give it some shine because this is still a really great fragrance. This was the first one from the Armani Privé line that I purchased. But then, I don't know, I just kind of stopped wearing it. So I will be making an effort to wear it sometime soon. So again, that is Blue Lazuli from Armani Privé. This next fragrance is not one that I've forgotten about, but I feel like nobody really talks about it here on the internet anymore. And when I first started watching fragrance videos, granted, I watched more men when I first started watching fragrance videos because that was what was available. But when I first started watching fragrance videos, I heard a lot of talk about this particular fragrance. So this is Roja Creation E Parfum Cologne. This is also known as Enigma Parfum Cologne. So this comes in a couple different concentrations. I do have the parfum version of this as well that was sent to me from Roja, but I just brought one down for the purpose of this video, but both of them really could be in this video. I really hear nobody talk about this, and I definitely don't really hear any women talk about this anymore. This is so good though. It is Sexy Boozy Rum and Coke. I love this fragrance. If you've been watching my channel for a while, then hopefully you have seen this fragrance in one of my videos because this is still one of my top 10 fragrances. I don't wear it enough because obviously, see, I don't have that big of a dent. Like I have a dent, but not a huge one. And I think that's just because I don't want to ruin its special factor for me. But I love this fragrance. It is still so good. Sexy Boozy Rum and Coke simplified. There's going to be a ton of notes that you see on the screen. Roja, they always give us a ton of notes, but to me, that's how I would describe it. Sexy Boozy Rum and Coke on a very elevated level. I like to wear this in hot weather. I wear it year round, but in the hot weather, specifically if I'm going to be outside, I feel like it really just bounces off the skin and like flows in the air so nicely. If you like things like Mancera Tonka Cola, definitely get your nose on this. I'm not saying they're the same, but I feel like they're the same vibe. And you need to smell this, y'all. Y'all need to smell this. Even if you're a woman, give it a try, y'all. Maybe don't blind buy it, but try to go spray it on your skin and see what you think about it. My husband loves this one as well. He's never worn it because it's my fragrance and we don't share. But every time I wear this, he compliments me without fail. He never knows what I'm wearing, but every time I put this one on, it's a compliment getter for sure. So again, that is Creation E Parfum Cologne from Roja. This next fragrance is from Zadig & Voltaire, and this is called This Is Her. Now, a couple years ago when this became popular, I feel like everybody and their mama was on the hunt for this. Like everybody was featuring this in videos. Everybody was buying this. It was selling out places, and now literally nobody mentions it. However, it's still amazing. This is a beautiful, milky, creamy sandalwood scent. It has a little bit of sweetness to it. And I feel like it has some other type of woody base to it besides the sandalwood. But overall, it's a milky, creamy sandalwood scent. It is more so on the lactonic side. And maybe it has a slight bit of spice in it. But in my opinion, it's just a very creamy scent. I love to wear this to bed. It's quite calming in my opinion. But I need to wear it out more. But I still wear this to bed on a pretty regular basis. So if you watch my videos where I share like every fragrance that I wore during the week, then I'm sure you have seen this. But if you've not been watching those and you haven't seen this on my channel, just know this is a really good fragrance. So if you like fragrances like Blanche Bette from Liquides Imaginaire, then maybe you want to get your nose on this too. I'm not saying they're dupes, but I am saying they are in the same neighborhood of fragrances. So if you like one, you may like the other. So again, that is Zadig and Voltaire. This is her. So this last fragrance is kind of more so of an honorable mention, but this is from Escada and this is Sentiment. So this is a super old fragrance. This bottle is not old. I actually just purchased this a few months ago, and I honestly purchased it for sentimental value because I used to wear the heck out of this fragrance. I remember I had the lotion to go with it. I went through multiple bottles of this fragrance, probably high school and college. I feel like I was wearing it then, and that was a long time ago for me, y'all. But I bought it again because I was just curious to see if it smelled the same, and I never see it in a store to sniff it. So I found it for like a really good price. I think I got it for like $30. So I was like, I'm gonna give it a try. And I love it, y'all. It is a sweet, musky scent. This is definitely one of those kind of maybe 90s perfumes where it definitely smells perfumey, but it's in a good way. It kind of puts me in the mind of Hana Mori, that fragrance, but it's not exactly the same. So again, it's a sweet, musky fragrance. I feel like there's definitely some fruity nuances to this, and if I had to guess the fruit, I would say maybe strawberry and cherry. That's kind of what it smells like to me. And then this musk that's not necessarily clean, but it's not a dirty animalic musk either. I also feel like there's some florals in here in the background that gives it a little bit of extra sweetness. And overall, the vibe that I get from this is just very playful, very happy, very easygoing. So I have worn this since I purchased it. I've only worn it a few times, but I felt like this had to be in this video because it just holds so much sentimental value for me. And I'm glad that I repurchased it because I'm finding a new love for it. And even if I only wear it to bed, it's okay, y'all. It's like $30, okay? And it'll give me those sentimental vibes. So I wanted to share it with y'all too. So again, that is Escada Sentiment. So those are some fragrances that I feel like are oldies but goodies. Let me know if you've tried any of these fragrances. Do you have any in your collection? I hope this video may have inspired you to pull out a fragrance that you haven't worn in a long time and give it another go. See if you still love it. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. Also check out my website. It's www.simplyaisha.com. Follow me over on Instagram if you want to connect me more. And as always, the links to the products I mentioned will be in the description box below. Shopping through those links does help to support this channel, so I really appreciate when y'all use my links. I hope you all enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.